Welcome back to class. Now today we are going to solve these two question. So this is the first question and then this is the second question. Okay, so let's begin with the first question. The first question says A and B contribute 140,000 naira and 180,000 naira respectively in a business partnership. Of the profits, A receives 20% as manager and the rest is shared in the ratio of their capitals. What is the ratio of A's total share of the profit to B's? And this is a Waec question. Okay, solution. So now I want you to take note first. We are going to find the ratio of their contribution. Okay, so the ratio of their contribution is equal to, we have 140,000 to 180,000. Understood? So if you change this to fraction, we have 140,000 divided by 180,000 naira. Okay, so when you divide this, you are going to get 7/9. So let's take it back to ratio. We have 7/9. So this is their ratio, the ratio of their contribution. Okay, so at the same time, total ratio, let's find their total ratio and keep it here. The total ratio will be equal to 7 plus 9, and that is equal to what? 16. So let's keep it here. We need it. Now the question says that A received 20% of managerial service. Okay, as a manager, A received 20%. Okay, so we are going to find that management share for A, but before that we don't know the total profits. So we'll say let the total profit be P. Okay, so in that case we can now go ahead and say management share for A will be equal to, the percentage of the managerial share is 20% of the profits, and our profit is P. Okay, so let's solve this further. We have 20%, so it's 20%, not 2%. Okay, so 20% means 20 divided by 100 times P. Okay, so when you solve this further, you are going to have 0.2p. Okay, so this is the management share for A. Now let's continue at the other page. Okay, so now we want to find the remaining profits. Okay, the remaining profit will be equal to 80%. You know that A has collected 20% as his own managerial services share. Okay, so the remaining profit is going to be 80% of P. So 80% of P, and that will also be 80 divided by 100 multiplied by P. So when you solve this further, you also get 0.8p. Okay, that's the remaining profit. So it is this remaining profit that A and B will now share again using their ratio, which is 7/9 that we calculated earlier on. So let's now quickly look at A's share. So A's share is equal to, the ratio of A is 7, then over total ratio, which is 16, times 0.8p. Okay, so that will give us 7 times 0.8 will be 5.6p divided by 16, and this will give us 0.35p. So that is A share. Now let's look at B's share now. So the B share is going to be the ratio of B, which is 9, that's its own proportion, divided by the total ratio, which is 16, times the remaining profit, which is 0.8p. When you multiply this together, you have 7.2p divided by 16. So, and that will give you 0.45p. Okay, so let's continue here. That is B B's share. Okay, now let's find the total rate, the total share of A. Okay, because A has collected managerial share and now is collecting another share. So let's find the total share. So A's total share will be equal to the one he collected for managerial services, which is 0.2p, plus the share he collected from the remaining, which is 0.35p. So when you add this together, you have 0.55p. Okay, so let's find, B's total. Let me just write it here. B's total share will be equal to what he collected from the remaining, which is 0.45p. So now the question asks us to find what is the ratio of A's total share to the profit, or sorry, of the profit to B's, and that will be equal to, let me just write it, ratio of A's total share to B's total share will be equal to, so A's total shares is 0.55p, then ratio 0.45p, which is B's total share. Well, you can write this in fraction form. 0.55 could be written as 55p over 100, then divided by 0.45 could be written as 45 over 100p as well. Okay, so when you change this to 55 over 100, if you change this division to times, you now have 100 divided by 45p. Okay, so when you do that, you have this 100 will cancel this 100. Okay, so removing the p, you now have the p will also cancel p. Okay, so and you now have 55 divided by 45 left. Okay, so when you divide this, 5 in 55 is 11, 5 in 45 is 9, so the ratio will now be equal to 11:9. Understood? Okay, so let's take a look at the second question. So the second question is, as you can see it on the screen. Okay, so solution to this question, what we are going to do now is to find the total ratio, sorry, the ratio of their investments. So find the ratio of their investment, and the ratio of their investment will be 100,000 naira ratio 160,000 naira. Okay, so when you change this to fraction, you have 100,000 divided by 160,000. Okay, so when you divide this, this will reduce to, this will cancel this cancel this, so it reduced to 10 over 16. Then 2 year 5, 2 year 8 over 8. Okay, so and that will be 5:8. Okay, so now the total ratio will be equal to 5 plus 8, and that will give us 13. Understood? Okay, so let's continue. So let's find the 30% of the profit shared. So the 35% of the profit shared is equal to 35 over 100 times 324,000. Understood? So, and that will give us, this 0 will cancel this. We now have 35 times 3240, and when you multiply this, we get 113400. Okay, 113,400 naira. So now each of them, because they are to divide this 35% profit equally, so each of them will get this amount divided by 2. So when you divide it by 2, this 113,400 naira, so you are going to get how much? 56,700 naira. So what will be the remainder? Remainder will be equal to, you are going to remove their this 35% of the profits. You are going to remove it from their total profit, which is 324,000 naira. Okay, so let's do that. We now have 324000 minus 113400. So when you do that, you get 210,600 naira. So now let's find the director's share now. Director's share will be equal to 5 divided by 13 times what we now have left as remainder, which is equal to 210,600 naira. Well, if you solve this very well, you should get 81,000 naira. That's director's share. Okay. Now let's find the partner's share. The partner, sorry, let me write this. The partner's share will be equal to, the proportion of the partner is 8 over 13 times the remaining amount, which is 210,600. So when you solve this also, you should get 129,600. Okay. So now let's look at their total shares now. The director's total share will be equal to the 81,000 naira that he got from the remaining share, then plus 56,000 naira, 56,700 naira that they each get from that 35% profits. Okay, and when you add it together, you get 137,700 naira. Okay, so let's put naira. Then let's look at the partner's total shares now. The partner total share will be equal to the 129,600 plus 56,700, which is equal to 186,300 naira. So if you add these their total shares together, you now also get the total profit, which is 324,000 naira. So this is how to solve this question. Thank you for watching. Bye.